Hi guys, this is Ketki Barfiwala from my channel Caramella.
Hi guys and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about Pastry School. So last week I put out a message asking you guys if you have any questions about Pastry School, and I had a lot of questions, so I decided to do this short video talking to you about your questions and about my experience at Pastry School. So firstly, let's talk a little bit about my journey. I am a qualified chartered accountant, and I started my home baking business after leaving my corporate job. And after that, I worked at home for about 2 years, and then I decided to open my own studio. So I have a studio now. I worked there for about a year's time, and after that, I decided to go to pastry school. So I went to Academy of Pastry Arts Malaysia for a 4-week intensive course, and I came back, and ever since then, I've been working in my own studio kitchen, and it's been about 2 years since that. Now, the first question that you guys asked, and I've been asked a lot, is which pastry school did I choose and why? Now, I went to Academy of Pastry Arts Malaysia. There are many reasons why I chose this school. The first and foremost being I wanted to get out a little bit out of my own comfort zone. And so I decided to join a school which is not in the country, because over here our ideas are a little bit restricted. Our thought processes are similar. We have a particular idea of a cake, of how pastry should be, of how desserts should be. So I wanted to get exposed to newer ideas, so I decided to go out of the country. So I decided to go to Malaysia. The second reason why I decided to go to Academy of Pastry Arts Malaysia is because they have a 4-week intensive program, and I was keen on doing like a shorter course. I didn't want to do like a full-fledged course, because by the time I decided to do pastry school, I was already having a kitchen of my own, so it wasn't really possible for me to shut down everything and go away for a year's time. So I decided to do a short course. So Academy of Pastry Arts was giving me a City and Guild certified short course. When I say intensive, it was really intensive. It was 4 weeks of intensive studying. We essentially were trying to combine like a whole year's education into 4 weeks. So it was a lot of knowledge, lot of data that you had to absorb in a day. So it was quick, but it was an amazing course, and I definitely recommend it. So I've written down a few points. Also, I really wanted to go to pastry school even though I had a business in place. It's because there are some things that only a pastry school can teach you. It's not possible for you to learn in your own kitchen, and those finer nuances were very important to me. So I decided to go to pastry school and learn there. So I wanted to go to pastry school, but at the same time I didn't have too much time. So I decided to go to this course, which was only a 4-week course. Then second question I had was, are there any pastry schools in India, and are they good? Now, firstly, Academy of Pastry Arts since then is also available in India. We have it in Mumbai also, if you're in Mumbai. And it's the course remains the same whether you go to Malaysia or whether you do it from India. And if you really want to do the course but you can't travel, I would definitely suggest you do it over here. Now, there are other schools as well that offer courses. I'm not sure which schools offer a 4-week course. Some schools have 6 weeks, some schools have 3 months, but they're all sort of short courses. We have Lavon, which is in Bangalore. There is IHM, that is the other catering college. There is ITM. In fact, I think IHM is in many cities in the country. There is ITM. There is now I think there's also School of European Pastry SEP, which offers an eggless course. I don't have the details for that, but it's in Mumbai, and I believe it does offer an eggless course. So for those who are looking out for an eggless option, you can go there, because all these other schools that I mentioned, they will teach you baking with egg. So if you are kind of restricted and you cannot eat eggs, then I would recommend that you do not attend these schools, because then otherwise you can't really put that knowledge to use. So yeah, those are the other schools. There's also Sophia's, which has multiple baking courses, right from a short course to a full-fledged course. So yes, there's that also. So next question: should I get experience in a commercial kitchen? Yes, yes, you should get experience. Now, I don't have any experience in a commercial kitchen, but I truly believe that it will add a lot to your knowledge. It will help you get some basics right. It will clear a few doubts. It'll put a system in place. It will help you gather a lot of knowledge, a few contacts in the industry. So, I definitely recommend that you should get experience before you start your own baking venture. So, yes, to answer your question, you should get experience. Um, Okay, I think this is the most asked question. I am a CA, I'm an engineer, I'm a banker, but I don't like my job and I want to become a baker. I want to start my home baking business. Okay, guys, first of all, do you not like your current business or do you like baking? Because they are two very different things. You know, baking on a weekend or baking one chocolate cake in a day vis-a-vis actually having a business that does this full time are two very different ball games. Having a business means many other aspects other than just baking. You have to take care of your overheads, you have to take care of your marketing, you have to take care of your client requirements. There'll be feedbacks, positive and negative. You require to stand in the kitchen for long hours. Now, I'm very passionate about it and I love to do it, and I can do it all day, every day. But it's not as easy as it appears. So if you think that, oh, currently I have this, I work here, but it's not fun, and if I bake, it's going to be fun. Please rethink, because baking for a living vis-a-vis baking on a weekend are two very different things. So if you bake every day, it may not be as fun as baking one off. It's a full-fledged job. It requires a lot of time, it requires a lot of attention, it requires a lot of focus, and it also requires a lot of dedication in terms of standing in the kitchen, acquiring new skills, because the market is moving very fast. So you have to acquire new skills every day. There's no end to it. Like, you never stop learning. So if you want to leave your profession, fair enough, but please think about these aspects also. Also, financially, it's going to take a hit, because currently you have a salary and it just comes to your bank account and you can spend it however you want. If you have a baking business, or for that matter, any business, honestly, it's going to be a slow growth. Okay, so there are going to be days when it's going to be a hassle to make any money at all. You can expect a gestation period of at least 2 years when you start off the business. So keep these things in mind when you decide to leave your profession. Also, please don't stop your qualification. You need to be qualified. You need to have a fallback option. So, like, for instance, I finished my chartered accountancy. I'm a qualified chartered accountant before I decided to move into the baking business. So go ahead, do it, but please have your fallback option. Don't leave your education in the middle. Okay, next question. Okay, next question. I want to open a cafe or a restaurant, and so I decided to go to pastry school. So, what is a good pastry school? Now, honestly, having a restaurant or a cafe is a very difficult business in itself. Food establishment is a business, and it's not like if you just know how to bake a cake or if you know how to make pastry, you can open a restaurant or a cafe. It requires a lot of other skill sets, a lot of business acumen. So I suggest that if you want to just open a cafe, and that's why I'm going to go to pastry school, you'd rather just open a cafe and employ somebody who knows how to make amazing pastry, because they're not related. So I mean, I'm not saying that if you have the skill, you can't open a cafe. But if that is your end game, like that's what you want to really do, then please consider opening a cafe and employing somebody to do that bit for you, because it's going to require a lot of other things and it's going to get so administrative and managerial. You're not going to really have time to be in the kitchen. So you might as well conceptualize and have somebody to make the stuff for you than actually go to pastry school before you open a cafe. So this is my opinion. I mean, I don't have any experience running a cafe or a restaurant, but this is honestly my opinion, that if you want to open a cafe or a restaurant, you don't need to go to pastry school. Okay.
Click here to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Caramella India.
Okay. Next question. Should I go to pastry school at all? Okay. So now this is a very, it's a very relative question. Now, Point number one, if you don't eat eggs, you cannot go to pastry school, because unfortunately all pastry schools really use egg. I think SEP is an exception, but I'm not too sure about their course. You can find out. But otherwise, all pastry schools use eggs. So if you do not eat eggs, if that is a restriction for you, you can't go to pastry school. I'm so sorry. But nobody, especially outside our country, nobody understands why you would want to learn something without eggs. Okay. So, firstly, that is a very big point. Secondly, our market is predominantly vegetarian in the baking section, in the bakery section, in the pastry section. It's a predominantly vegetarian market. So, if you really want to start your home baking business, your education from pastry school is going to help you with your concepts. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to develop new recipes, because those recipes you cannot use because they have eggs. So, this is a very big factor according to me. Again, this is a very personal experience. This is what I truly believe, that 90% of my customers expect a vegetarian cake or a vegetarian dessert or a vegetarian gift hamper. So this is a very personal choice, but I truly believe that if you need to do whatever your market asks for. So I went to pastry school because I wanted to get clear on my concepts. But if you're just starting out, please do realize that when you come back from pastry school, you're going to have to develop your own new ideas and recipes which are vegetarian, which suit your market. So if you can go to pastry school, very good. But if you cannot go to pastry school and you want to have a business of your own, remember, we have a lot of resources. We have YouTube, we have Google, we have lots and lots of pastry books, we have amazing food bloggers, recipe bloggers, we have amazing blogs that put together these recipes. Go ahead, try your recipes. Find the recipe which works for you, because a recipe which works for me may not work for you. There's no one rule fits all. So go find a recipe that works for you. Gather a first set of recipes and you can start. And then eventually, while you're doing it, you can keep adding new things as and when you learn. So I truly believe that if you cannot go to pastry school, there's still a way around it. You can do all these things, and eventually, like I went to pastry school a little into my business. You can start your business. You can realize that yes, this is what you really want to do, and then decide to go to pastry school. That's also an option. So yes, also the knowledge that you get in pastry school is amazing, and if you want to work in a commercial kitchen, it's the place to be in, because it's you get amazing knowledge, you get amazing skill sets, you will get a lot of ideas, concepts. So it's an amazing place to be at, but it's also really expensive. So unless you think you're going to actually end up recovering that cost, it's a little bit steep. So yeah, you can think about it. You'll have to weigh the cost benefits. Now, to give you a rough idea of how much it costs, I believe if you are within the country, it will cost you anywhere between $1.5 lakh to 2 lakhs is what my estimate is. But honestly, you'll have to go to the pastry schools and find out for yourself, because it also matters which school you go to, what course you do. There are so many factors. But yeah, it's expensive to go to pastry school. Yeah, so just to sum it up, if you want to go to a commercial kitchen, you need to go to pastry school. If you want to work from home and you want your concepts to be right, it's amazing to go to pastry school. But it's also expensive, and it also has predominantly recipes that contain eggs. So if you think that you can't go to pastry school, it's no big deal. You can do your own set of research, you can find your own sets of recipes, and you can still become a home baker. It's not tough. So yes, give it a go. And now we're coming to our last question. Why would I not choose LCB or a Culinary Institute of America over Academy of Pastry Arts? Firstly, I think Academy of Pastry Arts has a brilliant course. So yes, I also went there because I really think that the course is very good. Secondly, like I mentioned, their course is short, and that was very important to me. I couldn't do a full-fledged course. Thirdly, like I said, eggs are a very big factor, and I knew that even if I do a full-fledged course, I'm going to have to come back and adapt to new recipes, and it's expensive to go to a school in the US or the UK. So I decided to not want to spend that much money, that much time, and that much resources to do something which I believed I could do at a cheaper price in a quicker time. So that is why I decided to go to Academy of Pastry Arts. LCB, Culinary Institute of America, are just two institutes that we know of here famously, but there are a lot of other institutes also that offer brilliant courses. So if you truly are okay with going abroad, you need to research a little bit on the other institutes also. And if you go to LCB, amazing. At one point it was my dream to just go to LCB, but yeah, do your research. If you think that the cost benefit and the other factors which I mentioned before this are working in your favor, then go ahead and send me a picture when you're there. So yeah, I think I've answered all your questions. I hope I've answered all your questions. If you have any other questions, feel free to get in touch with me. I will also write a blog post on this soon and put it up for anybody who wants to go back and refer to it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video and you want to see other videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Press the bell icon now.